In a small village nestled between rolling hills and thick forests, there lived an old man named Elias. Elias was known for his wisdom, a quiet man who had seen the world change many times over. He spent his days sitting under a grand oak tree, its roots twisting through the earth like the threads of a rich tapestry. Young men from the village would often come to him for advice, but many only visited when they had exhausted all other options. One day, a man named Samuel, who had recently turned 40, came to visit Elias. Samuel had lived his life chasing after wealth, power, and recognition. He had built a successful business, amassed a fortune, and was respected by many. But despite all he had, Samuel felt a deep emptiness within. His relationships were strained, his health was failing, and his nights were sleepless. "Elias," Samuel began as he sat beside the old man under the oak tree, "I've spent my life seeking success. Yet here I am, with everything I thought I wanted. But I feel more lost than ever. Why do I feel like this?" Elias looked at Samuel with kind, knowing eyes. "You've come to seek wisdom, but wisdom is not something that can be given. It must be earned. However, I can share with you the lessons that many men learn too late in life." Samuel leaned in, eager to hear what the old man had to say. Elias began, "When you're young, time feels infinite. You believe you can always make up for lost time. But in truth, time is your most valuable asset. Many men waste their years pursuing things that don't truly matter, thinking they have forever. They neglect their families, their passions, their health, believing they can tend to these later. But time waits for no one. Every moment wasted is a moment you'll never get back." Samuel thought about the long hours he had spent working, the birthdays and anniversaries he had missed, and the countless opportunities for joy he had let slip by. Elias continued, "A man can have all the wealth in the world, but if he has no one to share it with, he is poor. Too many men focus on building their careers and businesses only to find themselves alone in their later years. It's the people in your life, your family, friends, and loved ones who bring true meaning and happiness. Cherish them, nurture these relationships, and never take them for granted." Samuel remembered the friends he had lost touch with, the arguments with his wife, and how distant he had become from his children. He realized that while he had been chasing success, he had neglected those who mattered most. The old man's voice was gentle but firm, as he said, "Health is often taken for granted until it's lost. You can't enjoy the fruits of your labor if your body is failing." Many men ignore their health in their prime, thinking they are invincible, but the body keeps score. Take care of your body. It's the vessel through which you experience life. Eat well, exercise, and listen to what your body tells you. A healthy man is a wealthy man. Samuel had always pushed his body to the limits, working late into the night, surviving on caffeine and stress. Now, he felt the consequences in his aching joints and chronic fatigue. Elias paused before continuing, "Contentment is a rare treasure. Men often believe that happiness lies in acquiring more money, more power, more possessions. But true happiness comes from contentment, from appreciating what you have, and understanding that more doesn't always mean better. It's about finding joy in the simple things, in the present moment, and not always chasing after the next big thing." Samuel had always thought that the next deal, the next promotion, or the next purchase would bring him happiness, but it never did. He realized that he had been living in a perpetual state of dissatisfaction, always wanting more. Lastly, Elias said, "The legacy you leave behind is not measured by your wealth or your accomplishments, but by the impact you've had on others. Men often forget that how they treat others, the kindness they show, and the integrity with which they live their lives is what people remember. Live with honor, be kind, and let your actions speak for themselves. This is the legacy that will outlast you. Samuel felt a pang of regret as he thought of the people he had wronged in his pursuit of success. He had always prided himself on being tough and shrewd, but he realized that these traits had come at the expense of compassion and fairness. As Elias finished, Samuel sat in silence, absorbing the old man's words. He realized that he had spent much of his life focused on the wrong things. But it wasn't too late. Samuel